Hi, I'm Fred Finley. I'm the owner of FineLine Weddings, and in this video we're going to be doing our virtual consultation for our video package and our video services. So what we're going to do is hop right on to our website here, and we're on our wedding video page. Easy way to get to it, you can hover over weddings and then go to the wedding video tab. So we're going to scroll down, and on the web page we have the packages themselves, okay, right here. But what I want to point out is we're going to click this printable tab button, and it's going to open up a printable PDF version in a new tab. And the reason I want to point this out, because in this video particular, the version we're going to be going over is our current lineup, our current version, which is 2019 version A. Now eventually packages will change, pricing will change, so it's just good to know to make sure that when you're watching the video to see, are we still promoting 2019A on our website, or have we moved on, and then you can point out any differences. So even if we do have a future version that you're looking at some point, most of the content will still be the same, but then there might be a few subtle differences. So let's jump right in. Now before we get through the specifics of each package, we essentially offer two documentary video packages, our basic and our standard package. And the big clear difference between the two, our basic is essentially what the name says. It's a basic service that's for someone who's looking for basic coverage of their ceremony and their reception. Okay, basic package, ceremony, reception, and up to 7 hours of a total window of coverage. Our standard is, first of all, it's up to 10 hours, and the standard is more of a full day from getting ready, pre-ceremony moments, ceremony, cocktail or photo shoot afterwards, and the reception. So that right there, that's the big difference between the two packages. You either are just looking for a video that's your ceremony reception, or you're looking for a full day video coverage, basic and standard. So that's really the easy way to make that decision, but let's go through the specifics of what's in each package. Now our basic video package includes one lead videographer. We do shoot everything in 1080 HD. You get 3 DVDs at the end. The number 3 would be one edited DVD for the bride and groom, one for the bride's parents, and one for the groom's parents. Again, as I mentioned, up to 7 total hours of coverage. Now, the other thing that we have to do with our basic package is say that the time that you can start the production is limited to 30 minutes prior to the ceremony. So if you're doing the basic package, the idea is that it's meant for ceremony and reception coverage only. So the maximum amount of time that you're allowed to start the video coverage before the ceremony would be half an hour. So if you have a 3 o'clock ceremony, the earliest you could have it start would be 2:30. So you would be doing 2:30 to 9:30 coverage. And that coverage from 2:30 to 3 would be at the site right where the ceremony is taking place. So it's usually intended for just shots of guests arriving. Maybe you have someone singing a song before your ceremony begins, things like that. Up to 2 locations max. So the locations are wherever the ceremony is taking place and where the reception is taking place. If you're having your ceremony and reception at the same venue, then you're essentially having one location. You don't get the, getting ready at the hotel as one, and then your ceremony and reception as the second location at your venue. If your ceremony and reception are at the same venue, you're still limited to just coverage at the ceremony site and where the reception is. Of course, a backup video camera of the same quality, 2 wireless mics for the ceremony, 1 wireless mic for the reception. Just to go over the wireless mics real quick, for the ceremony, first of all, we usually incorporate 2 wireless mics. We always clip a little wireless lapel mic to the groom's jacket. That's so when the bride and groom are exchanging vows, exchanging rings, we have nice audio of that exchange. Typically, for example, in an outdoor ceremony, you always have your officiant standing right by the bride and groom, and just in their same spot, same space. So that microphone is also picking up the officiant as well. We also have a second stick mic that we use for ceremonies. If we are at a church, we'll either place that microphone at the podium where the readings and homilies being done, or if that particular church has accessible low-hanging speakers, we'll mic up that speaker so that we get essentially a direct feed of all of the church's house sound. Similarly, that's what we do at the reception. We use a wireless mic at the reception. We'll place it by your DJ speaker. So we're essentially getting a direct feed of everything going through the DJ speaker, which is pretty much all of the audio. It's the introductions, the toast, the music, everything, the DJ's important announcements, and things like that. Getting back to the packages, chapter markers and menu navigation. When you receive your DVD and you pop it in, first it'll fire up with a menu like you would be accustomed to with any DVD. We usually break down the DVDs into 2 parts. the ceremony and reception. So basically the first half of the day and the second half of the day. Then from there, as you begin watching the video track, we break things down with chapter markers. So as you're watching, for example, if you want to skip ahead to the first dance, so if you're watching the reception and your intros and you want to just go right to the first dance, you can hit next chapter and it'll take you right to the very next event that began after the introduction. So if the next event is the cake, you hit next chapter, you're right at the cake. If then you do the first dance, you hit next chapter again, you'll be at your first dance, and so forth. Online planning forms. So as soon as you send us the contract, the first thing we do is we process the contract. In our efforts of doing that, one of the things that we do is we set up an online portal where you can access your online planning form. That's where you're going to communicate the important details, addresses, and times for us for the service. There is a planning form for each service you book with us. So if you book photo and DJ, you'll log in, you'll have a photo and DJ planning form. If you do photo, video, DJ, you'll have 3 planning forms, one for photo, video, and DJ. So depending on how many services you do with us, that's how many planning forms you'll have. Now the nice feature of the planning form, first of all, our planning forms are not due until 2 weeks before the wedding, so you have plenty of time. But the other important thing to note is that you can log in, you can do a little bit of work, save your progress, and then come back to it later. So you don't have to do it all at once. So as you secure your wedding ceremony location, you can log in, put the name of your church, the address, and so forth, hit save, and come back to it with other details down the road. We do have a guaranteed turnaround. So first of all, our guarantee is always that if we miss the deadline, you get $50 back per week that we've missed a deadline. So if we're a week late, you get $50 back. If we're 2 weeks late, you get $100 back. I always jokingly say we like keeping the money you've given us, so generally we're never late. Guaranteed turnaround of up to 16 weeks. It does take a long time to edit video. Basically, over the course of the year, it's anywhere, on average, we're usually 4 to 12 weeks. Folks that have their wedding videos done at more towards the beginning of the wedding season, when the season's just getting started, are going to get their wedding videos a lot quicker than folks who have their weddings later in the year. Especially once we get into fall. Fall around here is the super busy time of the year. We're pretty much out shooting wedding videos every Friday, Saturday, and sometimes on a Sunday. So for a couple things are going on. If we're going out and shooting a wedding video on Friday and Saturday, we're now bringing 2 new weddings back in that need to be edited. And that's also a lot of man hours. That's upwards of 20 hours in the field that my videographer is spending in the field. Just like the average person, he works a 40-hour work week. We do overtimes during the busy times, but if he's out in the field for 20 hours shooting 2 weddings that week, and when you come back to begin your work week, you're already down to a 20-hour work week to get editing done. So as we get towards later in the year, it does take a little bit longer. Weekly updates on your project. However, though, each week that you're waiting, we have what we call our weekly updates page. So we'll send you a link via email before the wedding, and then an automated email will come to you a week after your wedding. But you'll get an email with a link that takes you to a page on our website where on that page we list every photo and every video that we are editing back here at the office. We have the list of every wedding photo and video, the deadline. So basically we say, here's which wedding video we're editing. Here's which one we've just concluded and is just in the packaging stage, getting ready to be sent out. So maybe the DVDs are getting made and duplicated, the cases are being made, so that and then getting boxed up. That's the packaging stage. And then we list which ones are next to be edited. So maybe we're editing a video, but yours is next in line. There's another one after that. You can see where in the progress your video is each week, and each week I update that page so you can see the progress we're making and how your video is moving along. As far as travel, we include up to 100 miles round trip in the price. So that's 50 miles from our office and back. And if you're over the 100 miles, we will quote you up front. Then, lastly, additional hours of coverage is $200 per hour. That is to cover not only the time in the field, but the more time, if we're in the field for extra time, we're producing extra footage, then of course we've got to charge for the extra editing we're doing on the back end. Now, if you just need a half-hour coverage or an hour and a half, we can do in half-hour increments. And the other thing with the additional hours of coverage that I point out is that almost nobody knows coming in up front exactly how much time they need. This is something that's usually figured out much later, a little bit before the wedding, maybe a week or 2 before the wedding, as we're finalizing the final plan, as all the information is finally available. We'll be going over with the bride the best use of her hours, and that's when she might decide, you know what, could I add another half an hour, because if I can add that extra half an hour, I can totally get the coverage for the day exactly as I want it. Now, moving into the standard package, the standard package includes everything in the basic package plus the following. So first of all, it's extended time up to 10 hours. So we jump from a maximum of 7 to a maximum of 10. Our average wedding that we shoot, our average wedding day is 9 to 9.5 hours. So typically, if we're out on average 9.5 hours, that is why we do up to 10 hours for our standard package, because that up to 10 basically takes care of over 95% of the weddings that we do. It's very rare that someone needs to add more than 10 hours. They can if they need to, but generally speaking, with our average being 9 to 9.5, the 10-hour window is basically almost perfect for every wedding that we do. Now, in addition to the 3 edited DVDs, you will also get an edited Blu-ray as well. So if you do have a Blu-ray player, a PlayStation, an Xbox, or some type of game console that can play Blu-rays, you'll have a full HD Blu-ray version as well. Now, the raw footage DVD. So let me talk about the raw footage DVD. And in a little bit, we'll talk about how we edit the day, so this will make a little bit more sense. But you're going to get your final edited DVD, and then with the standard package, we'll also give you a raw footage DVD. That's because with the standard package, we're shooting more video throughout the day. We're shooting a lot, at the beginning of the day, a lot of getting ready footage, candid footage, and things like that, where things we got to chop up and edit together and make pretty and nice. So all that type of footage, we're going to put uncut on your raw footage DVD. Now, not everything goes on your raw footage DVD. The things that do not go on the raw footage DVD are events that you already have in its entirety on your main DVD. So very simple example, on your main DVD, you will have your entire first dance. When it comes time to watch your first dance, it'll be the whole first dance. So there's no reason to need to put it on the raw footage DVD because you already have the full first dance. You're watching the whole thing. So anything that's an event, intros, cake cutting, first dance, parent dances, toast, your ceremony, all of that will be in its entirety on the main DVD, so it won't be on the raw footage DVD. The raw footage DVD would be things like getting ready, moments before the ceremony begins, guest arrivals, picture taking afterwards, cocktail, people dancing on the dance floor and having fun, that type of candid activity. All right, now, and then of course the standard package gives you up to 4 locations. So with the basic, you're limited to the ceremony spot and the reception, because that's all you're getting is the ceremony and reception coverage. With the standard, a lot of times it might look like 4 locations such as this. Starting the day with where the bride's getting ready, going to the ceremony location, the church, wherever that might be, then maybe perhaps following the bridal party while they go off and take photos, and then of course shooting the reception. Real quick, we'll go through our a la carte options. We offer a highlight video of the day. Now, the highlight video is only available as an add-on to the standard package. You cannot do a basic and then add a highlight video. So let's first talk about what is a highlight video. If you get a standard package, we're going to edit your full day. Generally about the final production, the final DVD is about 2 hours. But the highlight is where after we edit the whole day, my editor actually starts all over, goes through the footage all over again, and making a condensed, creative version of the day that's maybe about 5 minutes long, set to music. Now that highlight will go on your DVD, so when you pop your DVD in, you'll have the option of just watching the highlight, but we also put the highlight version online so you can share it with friends and family so that they can relive your special day. So whether you want to text it, email, share it on social media, there'll be an online version so you, friends, and family can watch it anytime online as well. Now, we don't offer it with the basic because, again, with the basic, we're just shooting a ceremony and reception, and we really don't have enough footage to make a quality highlight, so we just don't do it. To make a nice highlight, you usually want to start from the beginning of the day, shots of the dress, the details, maybe the bride doing hair and makeup, getting dressed, taking some portraits, all the emotion building up to the ceremony, the groom getting ready before the ceremony and things like that. So we need that footage to do a nice highlight, and that's the footage we get when we're shooting the whole day with our standard video package. A second videographer. So if you need a second videographer, you can add that on as well. We do this at a minimum 2-hour booking. This is if you need 2 videographers in 2 places at the same time. So if you need a videographer, if you particularly want a videographer to be with the girls while they're getting ready at this house, and the guys, maybe they're at a hotel somewhere else and you want coverage at 2 places at the same time, that's when you would add 2 videographers. So some people will do just that and do the minimum 2-hour booking. Some people will do 4 or 5 hours so that they can have the guys getting ready and the girls getting ready at the same time, then a 2-camera shoot for the ceremony, and then after the ceremony have the two videographers split up, one going to the reception and covering cocktail hour, getting details of the ballroom, things like that, and then the activity of the guests mingling for cocktail hour, while the other videographer follows the bridal party while they go off and do photos. And then we have the prices for additional DVDs and Blu-rays. And then I won't go over everything, but if you scroll to the second page, this is where you can see the terminology of the things that we just mentioned and some frequently asked questions. Now, to wrap up this virtual consultation, the last thing I like to go over is just essentially how we edit the whole day, the full-length DVD. So essentially what I say is when we're looking at a wedding day, we break it down into two types of activity. There's full events and there is candid activity. So we've mentioned this a few times, but an event would be something where from start to finish, everything in between is important and it needs to be captured in its entirety. So first dance, full event. Parent dances, we're going to record the full event. The toast, introductions, cake cutting, things like that. All of those things are full events. We will record them in their entirety and you'll be able to relive them in their entirety on your full-length version of your DVD. Things that are candid activity, starting at the beginning of the day. So when the videographer shows up and the girls are getting ready, it's not like the videographer is just going to stand there, hit record, and just have one shot for 2 hours before he leaves, and then you just have that 2-hour chunk in your video. He's going to come over, maybe the bride is doing hair and makeup, so get some shots of that. Maybe there's some girls over here doing some hair and makeup, go over there and get some different angles and shots. Maybe it's time to get some shots of the dress and the shoes and the jewelry and get some detail shots. Maybe there's some girls, off in another room having fun making mimosas and things like that. All that candid activity that, he's moving around like a photographer. Come over here and get some snapshots. Come over here and get some snapshots. But it's come over here and roll, a minute or two of video. Come over here and roll a minute or two of video. So we have all this video, and that example applies to cocktail hour, photo session, dancing, guests arriving at the church. All that candid activity, we're going to go through it, edit it down, make it real nice, set it to music and things like that. So your final DVD is kind of an ebb and flow, if you will, of maybe it'll open up with a montage of the girls getting ready for the day, and then a montage at the church of the guys getting their pictures taken, guests arriving, guests being seated, things like that, and then it'll go into your full ceremony that you can relive. And then afterwards, maybe you do a receiving line and some pictures again, so now we'll kind of edit that down, make it nice, set it to some music. Maybe that goes right into your cocktail hour. Then the music changes. We have the details and decorations at the reception venue set to music, and then guests arriving and leaving presents on the gift table and things like that. And then right into your introductions where it's the live music, the live sound, the announcements from the DJ. The bridal party coming in, the bride and groom coming in, and things like that. So that's how we put the day together. So I'll stop it here, but what we've gone over is the differences, the major difference between our basic standard package, how to make sure that when you're watching this video to see if the version that you're looking at online is an updated version, which is always important. We went through the specifics of what's included in each package, what you get, and essentially how we edit and put the DVDs together. If you do have any other questions, don't hesitate. You can email me anytime. You can give us a call at the office. This is what we do. We're happy to talk about it with you, and hopefully we'll be a part of capturing your day. So thanks for watching.